In the infield lights, we shine mean in the heat of the night. Push trucks rolling, engines cry, heartbeat hitting like a war drum sky. Fuel fumes burning, crowd starts to roar. You ain't here to live, you're here for war. Green flag snaps and you loosen the wind, throwing dirt and chasing that wind. Throttle pinned, elbows out wide, hunting that cushion like it stole your pride. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son, glory or wreck, there ain't no in between rides. Slide job, hold tight baby, this ain't no parade, this is dirt track thunder and we came to invade. Hot laps hitting like a freight train swing. G-forces bite when they ride rear digs. Slick in the middle, tacky up high, living on the edge of a half-second line. One mistake and you're kissing the wall. Heroes rise fast, legends fall. This ain't a game for the calm or tame. Fortune screams aloud for the ones who aim. Hammer down, lean hard on that wing. If you ain't risking it all, you ain't winning a thing. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son, dirt in your teeth, but damn this life fun. Slide job, wide open hearts in a world built on grit. Ain't no better feeling than making her stick. White flag waving, hands ain't steady. Last lap, breathe deep, keep heavy. One more dive, no fear, no shame. Stand on it, son, claim your name. Slide job, checkers fly, crowd shakes the ground. Victory lane, you're the talk of this town. Slide job, from the mud to the lights, we were born to drive. A slide job's more than a move, it's how we survive.
Well, we are back with you again for another night of dirt track action here with the Dirty Old Bastards. This time we're here with the 410 Sprint Series. We have got, it looks like, about 60 cars strong again here tonight. We had 60 on Tuesday night for the 360 Sprint Series. We have got ourselves a fantastic field of cars here tonight. You can see drivers out on the racetrack right now getting a little practice in. We've got about just a few minutes left to go here in the warm-up, so they're going to stop and have the drivers meeting here in just a second. So we got to change a setting here real quick. So we're going to switch over to a little bit of AI Chief commercial. Be back in about 30 seconds.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you...
All right, we're back. 410 Sprint Series Dirty Old Bastards, week number 5 of season 22. Let's take a quick look here at the point standings coming into tonight. Aiden Forrester leading the 410s. Aiden also leading the 360 Sprint Series on Tuesday night. Has yet to win a race, but leading both series. Kenny Hoffman finds himself tied right now with Forrester for the top spot. Spencer Putney there in third. Jack Young fourth. Fifth place right now is going to be Matthew Rogers and Dustin Sargent. Alex Trzynski, Trevor Royer, Tanner Pettit back in the ninth spot. Colton Brewer. Tyler Shells picked up 2 wins this season. I don't see Tyler on the roster for tonight either. I know he's made a couple of the races. I think he's won both the races he's been here for. Don Klimowicz Jr. and Michael Sheridan tied there for 12th. Dustin Steinman and Ethan Milwade. We're going to round out our 15 cars here in the point standings. Got just a couple of minutes later left to go. We're going to jump right into qualifying. They got the drivers meeting going on right now. You can see fast times right now on the top of the charts. Andrew May, fast time here in practice at a 15:9:25, but right there behind him is the 24 Pettit. Aiden Stoll. We've not seen Aiden yet this year. At least I have not in the 360 sprints. So a couple minutes here left to go. We'll get qualifying underway. A couple facts here about Williams Grove. If you've not been to Williams Grove or not seen this racetrack, it's pretty. Think about it as a little bit like a dirt version of Martinsville, just a paperclip shaped racetrack. It's one of the oldest tracks in the country. Opened in 1939, half mile in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. You'll see a lot of big races ran here all throughout the season. Pennsylvania posse loves to come to the Grove. Get Pennsylvania Speed Week coming on. I think that usually comes on about June or July. I should probably have better knowledge on that, but it's always a fun track. I've always wanted to make the trip back east to check out the races here. So it looks like they may have jumped forward here on the time. So practice coming to an end. We're going to jump right into qualifying. You can see Barney the flagman up here waving the checkered flag on practice. Hot laps are over. On to qualifying. And qualifying is kind of fast and woolly here. We'll try to catch as many cars out on the racetrack as we can. It looks like we got a bunch of drivers jumping out here right now. I see Trevor Royer on the racetrack, Andrew May, Connor Dudick, Joshua Pickle, Putney's out there. Everybody out here on the racetrack will keep an eye on the timing and scored. And Aiden Forster sitting on pit road still. But here's Pickle in the 33, getting his out lap, his warm-up lap going here. He's going to come across the stripe to start his first lap. Keep an eye here on Pickle. Fast time in practice in hot laps was Andrew May, so we'll see where May comes across the line. So Pettit here making his way out onto the racetrack. Joshua Pickle, maybe the first one's going to get a lap time, and it's going to be Trevor Royer. So Trevor listed as the 07 here tonight. Still got the 90 on the wing. He comes across top of the chart. But right now he is going to get knocked down in a hurry. Connor Dudick to the top. Fast time. And there goes Corlin. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Boak. So Colin Boak going to go to the top. Andrew May now. Fast time of the night. Matthew Rogers going to take that away. So it's time's going faster. It's really hard to keep up with them sometimes just to see who's. It'd be cool. Kind of cool if they just came out one time. But right now, it looks like Kenny Hoffman, fast time of the night. Shane Yost right there behind him. Matthew Rogers. We got just a few seconds left to go. Tanner Pettit Racing's Kenny Hoffman right there on the pole right now with a 17.220. Carmen second. Yost third. Rogers fourth. Forrester in fifth. Your points leader. And you can see it's a great shot here of Williams Grove, just that long paper cup, long straightaways, tight corners. So we're going to roll right into heat race number 1. 12 cars in each heat. Top 2 will make their way to the dash. top 4 make their way to the show. So looks like we ended up with about 52 cars here tonight. So we'll have 5 heat races. Top 4 will make their way into the feature. Top 2 will go to a dash. We'll have a 10-car dash. It'll actually be kind of ran during warm-up. So I'm guessing with 50 cars, we'll probably only run an A, B, and C main. So we're going to get our lineup here for heat race number 1 up on the board. Kenny Hoffman's going to start on the pole to his outside. Aiden Stoll starting inside of row number 2. Austin Mueller and Spencer Putney. Row number 3, Joshua Pickle is going to start in the 5th spot. To his outside, Brady King. In 7th, Dakota Kuhn and Joseph Grandy. Grandy had a good car the other night in 360, but ended up on his lid. Ken Bum there starting 9th. John O'Brien in the 10th spot. Back there in 11th, it's going to be Zach McLaughlin and Keith Chandler is going to round out our 12-car heat race here in heat race number 1. Nice shot down the back straight. Looks like they could do some work on this back straightaway wall back here. But I guess the track has been here since 1939, so they probably replaced that concrete or guardrail in there many times already. All right, Hoffman on the pole. Looks like we're starting heads up in the heat races. Unlike the 360s on Tuesday nights where we start with a 4-car invert in the heat. All right, we're going to go around here one more time and come across the line. Pace truck will pull in off of turn number 4. It'll be up to Kenny Hoffman when to start us off here in heat race number 1. Watch for Kenny. I've seen Kenny run a few times. I expect him to pick it up a little bit early, probably about halfway through 3 and 4. I'm not sure what that comment means there, Art Studio. Alright, still Hoffman, Putney, and Mueller. That's your top 4 right here. Right now, we're going to see how this winds up. See where Hoffman picks up the throttle here. Heat race number 1. We're getting underway here at Williams Grove here for the Dirty Old Bastards. Hoffman on the loud pedal. We are green here in heat race number 1. Hoffman right up on the cushion. He's got Stoll right there behind him. Mueller in the 3rd spot. Keep an eye up on the front. Let's see if Stoll tries to look to the bottom into 3 and 4. Hoffman goes down to the bottom to block off the slide from Mueller. Or from Stoll, sorry. So Stoll is going to get a run off of Kenny. Off of turn number 4 underneath Kenny Hoffman. They're going to head down into 1 and 2. Stoll now to the point. Hoffman comes back strong off of turn number 2. Looks to the bottom of the racetrack down the back straightaway. Can he make his way up into 3? He is going to do it. He is going to clear Aiden Stoll. Take that top spot away as they roll around the bottom of the racetrack there in 3 and 4. And our leaderboard is a mess, so we're just going to take that off for the minute. So it's Hoffman, Stoll, Putney. Caution is out for the first time. And it looks like it may have involved John O'Brien. You see him limping. Dakota Cone also involved. Dakota finds himself into the pit lane, so we'll see if we can take a look here. See if we can see what happened. So we can see Brian here on the outside of Kuhn. Kuhn coming up along the inside. Coming off of turn number 2 down the back straight. They make a little contact right there. Right underneath the bridge. It looks like Kuhn goes for a little bit of a ride, but he's going to keep it up on all 4s, so Kuhn's going to pull down in the pits. Oh, appreciate that. Lucas. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. It's funny people pay me to do this because my pronunciation of names isn't always the best. But thank you for that. All right. 3 laps down, 5 left to go here in heat race number 1. It's Kenny Hoffman, Aiden Stoll, Spencer Putney, Austin Mueller, Joshua Pickle. That's your top 5. And if our timing and scoring was working correctly, top 2 will go to the dash, top 4 to the feature. Next 4 will go to the B, and everybody else will go to the C. Alright, pace truck still out on the racetrack. We're going to go around one more time. And it looks like we may have fixed our timing and scoring. So you can see, as we show on the tower, top 2 in gold to the dash, top 4 to the feature. Hoffman and Stoll, good battle up the first couple of laps. Let's see if Hoffman can get away here on this restart. Single file into 3 and 4. Let's see where Kenny Hoffman picks up the throttle. Hoffman on the loud pedal brings us off of 4. Stoll right there with him, only a couple of car lengths back. Let's see if he can get a run into 2. Not going to do it, but our top 4 kind of already separated themselves out a little bit. Hoffman, we got caution in the air one more time. Looks like it might be, not sure what that was. I don't see anybody on the racetrack with an incident. Grandy looks to be out of this one. Not sure, maybe race control just did not like the restart. They don't really give us a lot of communication sometimes, so. Appreciate the feedback there, Art. Thanks for the help on the name. I'm gonna probably still screw it up as the night goes on. I do it every time. So Bocus, all right. We'll try to remember Bocus. Bo like dough. Got it. All right, Kenny Hoffman has led every lap of this race so far. It looks like Stoll. It looks like race control did not like Aiden Stoll's start there for some reason. They moved him back a couple of spots. So Aiden Stoll now back to 4th. He's now the last car with a transfer. Still 3 laps down, 5 left to go here. Heat race number 1 underway. We got a couple different races going on here tonight on the DRSN broadcast channel. We got the 410 sprint cars here. Then we got my buddy Liam Ervig. He is covering the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series, which is going to start up here in about 5 minutes. So if you want to jump back and forth, we get a little break here, but we're going to go green flag racing there one more time. Hoffman brings us off of 4. We're green flag in the air one more time here in heat race number 1. Looks like a much better start. Hoffman is going to get clear by about 5 or 6 car lengths into 1. Putney to the outside. He has got Mueller right there behind him. Stoll to the bottom. Not able to get a good run off of turn number 2. And Hoffman's starting to drive away. We'll keep an eye on this battle here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Putney, Stoll, Mueller, Pickle. 1 spot out, trying to get around Mueller into the last transfer spot. Ken Baum right there with him as well. But it looks like Putney and Stoll are able to pull away here a little bit from Austin Mueller. But our top 4 team to be pretty well settled in. We'll take a look back at a side-by-side going on back here. It looks like we're 7th, 8th, and 9th. We take a look here at the 11 of McLaughlin with a good run there on the outside. He is going to get past, actually that was King. McLaughlin looking to get around King back there. Back up front here, we have 1 to go. Side-by-side battle down the front straightaway with Aiden Stoll and Spencer Putney for 2nd. Kenny Hoffman has set sail. He is running the cushion off of 1 and 2. Watch him go to the bottom. Down here in 1 and 3 and 4 looks like a pretty good line, so he's running opposite grooves on both ends of the racetrack. Coming across the line, it is going to be Kenny Hoffman bringing home the win. Aiden Stoll 2nd. Spencer Putney 3rd. Austin Mueller is going to take 4th, and Joshua Pickle in the 33 is going to be the first car out. Find himself in the B main. So heat race number 1 is in the books. We'll move on to heat race number 2. Appreciate you being here with us. If you've not been here with the DRSN before, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like. Getting the channel built up, trying to get a bunch of races on here. So we'll be here. We have 2 races going on right now. We should have the Nitro Zone Racing League going on also live. Tomorrow night we'll be here for the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. And then Saturday night we'll be here for the JWR Racing Money Saturday Night Fever. Is it Saturday Night Fever? I think that's what it was called. They're racing the Cup cars at Talladega Super Speedway Racing Saturday night for a little bit of cash. All right, so we are good here for heat race number 2. Kelly Carmen on the pole, Aiden Forrester to the outside, Rylan Gray and Ty Showblock there in the 2nd row. Starting 5th, inside row number 3, Ryan Scheidt and Trevor Royer. In the 7th spot, Jeffrey West and Tony Dominguez. It's Nicholas McGeethy and Matthew Goins there in the row number 5. Back to row number 6. We find Charles Wertman there inside in the 11th spot, and to his outside in the 013 is going to be Joseph Johnson. All right, 4 more cars looking to make their way into the feature. Carmen, Forrester, Gray, and Showblock. Showblock had some bad luck the other night in the 360 series. Had to come out of the D after an iRacing, basically an iRacing timing and scoring error. So we got Jeffrey West, according to the YouTube chat, we got Jeffrey West on a default setup. He is what... Let's see how this works out for him. It looks like our pole sitter, Carmen, kind of blinking on and off right there. He just disappeared. Let's see if he comes back. That's why that goes to a short. There we go. All right. So Carmen, I think Carmen has disappeared. It looks like he may have disconnected. It's unfortunate there. He was supposed to start on the front row here for heat race number 2, but it looks like a technical error for Carmen. That is going to move Rylan Gray up to the pole. So it is Gray and Forrester now on the front row. Showblock and Scheidt right there behind him. All right, with the 06 on the pole, Gray is going to bring us off of turn number 4, side by side. A good start here for Forrester and Gray. We are side by side into turn number 1. Gray on the bottom, Forrester on the top. Look at Scheidt down on the bottom of the racetrack. But Showblock with a great run off the top. We're side by side back here for 5th and 6th. Also up front, Forrester now is closed in on the back of Gray. Gray's going to make a little mistake. Has to cut down the bottom of the racetrack. Just about cut across the nose of Forrester. Forrester saw it coming, got checked up. Now he's going to take the lead into 1 and 2 off of 2. Gray gets into the outside wide. Showblock now to 3rd. Scheidt now in 4th, but he's got the 90 of Royer all over the back. A little contact. Looks like back there about a couple more spots back. Here comes Forrester now with about a 4 or 5 car length lead over Gray. Showblock with a great run off the top of the cushion, coming off of 2. He has a run underneath Gray down the back straightaway. Can he do anything with him as they head into 3? Showblock to the bottom, Gray to the top. Gray's got a great run. Looks like we got bumping and banging going on in the back. It looks like maybe Tony Dominguez and Matthew Goins, or actually Goins and Jose and Johnson, will get back up here to the racing up front. As Forrester has now set sail. Rylan Gray's falling back a little bit. Showblock all over the back of Gray. Gray really struggling getting off of 4. That car has got a great bite up off the top of the cushion, but it wants to dive down to the bottom of the racetrack. It looks like he's checking up just a little bit. Showblock able to slide up through 1 and 2. Gray now back to the bottom, down the back straightaway into 3. He is going to clear Showblock for that 2nd spot. We got a good battle going on here for 2nd and 3rd. 4 laps left to go. Actually, 3 to go. 5 down, 3 to go for Forrester. He is checking out his Tanner Pettit Racing teammate. Hoffman won the first race. Forrester looking to pick up this one. Take a look back here for this final transfer spot. It's Royer has made his way up to 4th. He's up 2 spots. He has got at that last transfer spot right now. But up front, it is still Forrester, Gray, Showblock. 2 to go as they come across the line. The 06 of Gray hanging on to 2nd. I thought Showblock was going to be able to make a run on 1 to go as they come across the line. Forrester has really stretched this lead out about a second, almost 2 seconds, but he makes a mistake right there off of 2. Catches the wall. He's going to lose about a half a second to Gray, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Forrester is still going to take the win here off of 4. And off of turn number 4, it is Aiden Forrester at the line. Rylan Gray is going to come up in 2nd. Showblock and Royer, that's going to be your transfer cars. And it's Ryan Scheidt, Nicholas McGeethy, Jeffrey West with the default setup, as we were told, in 7th. Matthew Goins, Charles Wortman, and Tony Dominguez. That is going to round out our top 10. Joseph Johnson and Kelly Carmen. I don't think Carmen even took the green flag. So that is going to wrap it up here for heat race number 2. All right, getting lined up here for the 3rd heat race of the night. Another 4 drivers going to punch their ticket. My name is Chris Murphy, DRSN, covering the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Series. This is season 22 of the Dirty Old Bastards. They have been around for a while. We're going to get on to heat race number 3. On the pole, it's going to be Shane Yost, Connor Dudek to the outside. Back to row number 2, Jeremy Zarfos and Zach Young. Mason Hannigan put on a show Tuesday night in the 360. Started in the D main, won the D, won the C, finished 2nd in the B, and ended up he was up to about top 10 in the A, and then had a mistake and ended up crashing out. But he put on one heck of a show. But his outside is going to be Bryce Einstein. Alex Kerstetter in 7th. Chris Sabske in the 8th spot. Back in Ninth, it's going to be Zach Hollinger, Blake Carrick to his outside start in 10th. Blake with not a great qualifying effort, and David Baker back there in 11th. All right, we'll go around one more time. Actually, it shows timing and scoring with Carrick supposed to start on the front rows here, but we'll see what happens. So we've got, looks like Dudek and Yost. Dudek to the outside there in the 7. I only see 10 cars out there on the race. I don't think Blake Carrick has made his way out onto the racetrack, so it looks like maybe another technical issue for one of our drivers here in the heat race. It was Carmen in the last heat. Carrick looks like he is going to miss the start here in heat race number 3. All right, down the back straightaway, pace truck will pull in off at turn number 4. Trying to find the right camera angle here for these starts here. This is first time at Williams Grove. Looks like that might be the best one. Gives a little bit of a wide shot. So going to come off turn number 4. Yost on the throttle, going to bring us to the line. Yost with a good jump. He's got Dudek right there behind him. Dudek tried to anticipate that a little bit. Battle right now is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That looks like Zarfos down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Young on the outside in the 10. Hannigan back there in the 1. Hannigan with a good run down the bottom of the racetrack. Gets in a little deep right there. Has to check up. He gets into the back of Zarfos. He's going to fall back to 5th right now. So Hannigan 1 spot out. We're side by side for the lead with Dudek and Yost. Dudek on the outside. Yost on the bottom. Young still in 4th. Zarfos now in 4th. But Hannigan back to 4th. Keep an eye up front. Dudek starting to put a little separation on himself. And here comes Young. Young looking to the inside of Yost. We got about to have a 3-car battle, about to have a 4-car battle with Mason coming up in there. So 4 cars now battling it out for 3 spots. Yost, Zarfos, Young, and Hannigan now throw a blanket over it. Young with a mistake. He catches the outside wall, it looked like, and then it got a little bit more connected with Hannigan. So it looked like Young, I couldn't tell if the first contact was with the outside wall or with Mason Hannigan. We'll see if we can take a quick look at it. But it looks like he may have also collected Bryce Heinstein in that as well. So let's see what we can see right here. He's already spun around at this point. Let's go back a little bit further. So we can see Young right here. 4 cars right here all together. Let's keep an eye on Young. We'll go with the chase cam here. We can kind of see what happens as he comes up the racetrack. It looks like maybe the 19's coming up. Did they make contact first? It's just slow-mo. It's like I'm not sure what that was. Was that just some kind of net coat? I got to rewind that a little bit here. What did he hit? It looked like a rock or something. I don't know what that was, but there was really no contact there with anybody. Unless I'm just missing it, but it looked like just kind of a fluke thing for Young. It looked like something hit the wing of the car, threw him sideways, so it looks like Young is going to be out of this one. So your top 4 now is going to be Dudek, Yost, Zarfos, and Hannigan. Sabeskate right there behind him in the 21. Alex Kerstetter right there in 6. So we'll see who can hang on up here. Hannigan, we saw Mason really running the bottom of the racetrack well Tuesday night at Eldora. Let's see if he finds the same thing here tonight at Williams Grove. Hoffman worked that bottom through 3 and 4 pretty well. So let's see how this shakes out for these guys here in heat race number 3. All right, sorry, just checking on the other live stream on the channel, see how they're doing over there. So they're going to go green this time. Bye. Pace truck's going to pull in off at turn number 4. It's up to Dudek wherever he wants to pick the throttle up. He's going to take it down into 4. Dudek's going to get on the throttle, bring us to the green flag. Green flag in the air one more time here in heat race number 3. Dudek, Yost. Let's take a look back here a little bit further. We've got Yost and Hannigan going at it here for 3rd and 4th. Sabeskate falling back a little bit. Mason Hannigan down to the bottom of the racetrack. He is going to clear Zarfos into 3 and 4. Gets a good run off the bottom. I don't think he's done yet. He's still got Shane Yost right up there in front of him. So it's Dudek, Yost, Hannigan now. Zarfos and Sabeskay. Sabeskay looking to get that last transfer spot. He is reeling in the 19. Can Sabeskay find a little bit of groove somewhere to see if he can clear Zarfos and take that final transfer spot away? Connor Dudek checking out on this. Shane Yost there in second. Take a look here at Mason Hannigan in third. Jeremy Zarfos down on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Chris Sabeskay. We got 2 laps left to go. Can the 21 of Sabeskay find something out here, find a way around the 19, get himself into the, makes a little bobble right there off of 2. 2 laps left to go. We're going to come across the line. White flag will be in the air for Connor Dudek. We're going to keep an eye on this final transfer spot as the top 3 have kind of separated themselves out. Dudek takes us down into turn number 3. Zarfos actually gets clear of Sabeskay. Sabeskay with a little bit more of a mistake. He is going to fall off the pace and make another mistake right there. So we're going to keep an eye on our leader, Dudek. Going to come across the line here to take the win in heat race number 3. Shane Yost in second. Mason Hannigan just about reeled him in. Going to come up in third. Zarfos in fourth. That is going to round out our finish here for heat race number 3. It was Dudek, Yost, Hannigan, Zarfos, Sabeskay, Hollinger, Einstein back in 7th. Not a fantastic run for Bryce there. We usually see him run a little bit closer to the front, so he's going to have to work today. He's going to come out of the B. All right, we're going to get ready for heat race number 4. If I can remember to type it in so it shows up on the tower correctly. So on the pole here, we'll get the grid up for you. On the pole here for heat race number 4, Matthew Rogers. And see, I got to look back at my chat here to remember how to pronounce Corlin's name. So it is Bocas. So Corlin Bocas on the outside, Jay Schaaf and Bryce Lucius in the second row. Back to row number 3, starting in 5th, Anthony Villagran and Ross Corntaw. Joseph Groom and Jesse Bandy going to occupy row number 4. Back to row number 5, starting 9th, Andrew May. Andrew was really fast early, but did not have a great qualifying effort. But to his outside intent's going to be Bowen Smith. And back there in 11th, rounding out our field here for race number 4, is going to be Austin Griffey. All right, so we got Tyler in chat saying he sponsored a setup, a Tanner Pedder setup for Jeffrey West. I'm sure Jeffrey's going to appreciate that. We'll see how that works out for him in the B main. And I'm looking at a lot of these cars. The visual when I'm seeing these cars come down the front straightaway, it looks like that right front's a little towed out. Must be something with the setup here. But just keep an eye on the Rogers and Bocas. Lights are out on the pace truck. Roll down here through 1 and 2 one more time. Rogers getting a little heat in the engine right there. We've seen Rogers with quite a few good runs in these series. Let's see if he can keep himself up front. Our top 4 cars have pretty much came out of the top 6 spots here in all 3 races so far. Let's see if that pattern continues on. All right, Rogers going to pick up the pace here off of 4. Green flag in the air for heat race number 4. Matthew Rogers and Corlin Bocas. The Schaaf now to the bottom. A little contact there. Bocas goes flying. I think he might have net coated out. So unfortunate there for the 40. I'm not sure what happened. A little contact right there, and then he just went shooting off the racetrack. And we got another tangle back here in the back. I see it looks like the 31 of May's involved. Bowen Smith going around. We take a look here at Andrew Main at 31. He's got some damage on the front of the car. Smith definitely with some damage. I saw the front wing off, but it looks like it's back on there now. So it's hard to tell sometimes with the visuals here on iRacing. So I think Anthony Villagran might have also been involved. Let's just take a quick look here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Matthew Rogers fell way back here. I'm not sure what happened. So it looks like the 11 just gets in a corner, catches the back of the 22. And May's going to come here really with nowhere to go. Same thing with Smith. Smith starts to get clear on the bottom. And then it looks like he gets a little bit of a tap there from the 57 of Griffey. And they're going to get together here off of 4, so kind of looks like 2 different incidents, but it really started out with the first one. Let's see, take another quick look at that here in real speed. It looked like the 26 of Rogers had really made a mistake right there and was falling back. That got us into a 3-wide situation. The 11 of Groom comes up in here and just makes some contact with the 22 of Villagran. Turns him around. May piles in. But really with nowhere to go. But some definite damage. I'm not sure what happened to Rogers on that, but that caution was pretty lucky for Matthew Rogers. That's going to put him back up front. As we were kind of looking throughout the field there, he must have got into the wall or something off of 2. So timely caution there for our pole sitter. He is going to get his spot back. We'll get basically, I think they called it 1 lap down. We'll see how this plays out. Looks like we are going to be single file here on the restart. All right, 26 of Matthew Rogers is going to set the pace here. We head through 3 and 4. Jay Shafe, Bryce Lucis, Ross Corntaw. That is your top 4 right now. A little shaking up back in the middle of the pack there on the restart, but Rogers is able to get a good starter. Green flag's in the air here. Again, heat race number 4. Shafe's going to catch the outside wall a little bit. That's going to allow Lucius to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. The 332 is going to take that second spot away. Shafe to 3rd. May now back up to 4th after getting involved in that incident. Griffey right there behind him. So this is your battle for the final transfer spot. We might have a battle here for the lead before it's over, with Bryce Lucius looking to reel in Matthew Rogers. Jay Shafe right there with him. Keep an eye on this battle here for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Bowen Smith up on the outside. He's going to fall back a little bit. Bandy right there in the 6th spot. He has got the 57 of Griffey right there in front of him. We get up to the front. Lucius now got a good run on Rogers, but here's Shafe down on the bottom. So we've got 3 cars fighting it out for the lead right now. Rogers gets into the outside wall. That allows Lucius to close up on the backup, and here comes the 3 cars. Shafe, Lucius to the bottom. He's going to slide up through 3 and 4, take the lead away from Rogers off of 4. But Rogers going to drag race down the front straightaway. He's going to take the lead back as we head into 1 and 2. 4 laps down, 4 left to go. That's your battle for 2nd right there. Jay Shafe and Bryce Lucius coming across the line. 3 to go. We're keeping an eye a little bit back in the field. We've got a good race up front. We don't want to miss this one. Rogers, Lucius, and Shafe. We got 3 cars all right here together, fighting it out for the lead here in heat race number 4. Top 2 will go to the dash. So Lucius and Shafe fighting it out for that last dash spot. Andrew May now, after getting involved in incidents, made his way into the final transfer spot. So Andrew May with a good run here. Started back in 9th, made his way up 5 spots up to 4th. Austin Griffey's falling off the pace, so it looks like May's got some good separation, almost a full second back to the 5th place running Griffey. So we'll keep an eye up here front, coming across the line. 1 lap left to go. White flag in the air for Matthew Rogers. He's led every single lap. He just wants to lead the last one. Here comes Lucius and Shafe now, still 2nd and 3rd. It doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for him right here. Off of turn number 4, it is going to be Rogers coming to the win here in heat race number 4. Lucius in 2nd. Shafe made Griffey. Bowen Smith back there in 6th. Ross Corntaw in 7th. Villagran in the 8th spot. Joseph Groom and Jesse Bandy. That rounds out our 10-car field. And Bocus just did not have something happen to him on the first lap. It's going to be 4 from the B, Tyler. All right, we are getting lined up here now for heat race number 5. I just got to change it on the board. So heat race number 5, we'll get our grid up here. It looks like on the pole, the 24 of Tanner Pettit to his outside. Gunnar Harris in row number 2. Grady Ehrman and Casey Simons. In the 5th spot, starting to the inside, the number 15 of Michael Sheridan, Ricky Thompson to his outside. Back in 7th, it is going to be Greg Robinson, Shane Gallo, the SGR Racing number 21. Starting back here in 8th, Dustin Big Money Sargent in the 9th spot, Dustin Steinman in 10th, and Brandon Rogers going to round out our 11-car field here for heat race number 5. Last heat race of the night. Then we will get on to our main events. All right, 24 Pettit. Well, Tanner Pettit Racing has picked up 2 heat race wins tonight. Let's see if they can pick up another here in heat race number 5. Lights are out on the pace track, but I think we're going to go around one more time. That's a nice shot from the top of the bridge down the back straightaway. The iconic bridge across the back chute here, halfway down the back straightaway at Williams Grove. Where's all my grandstands at? I guess I gotta upgrade my graphics a little bit here. We have no grandstands here at Williams Grove. All right, one more time around. Just a few random fans standing around in the grass. Pettit and Harris on the front row here. Heat race number 5. 4 more cars going to find a way to the feature. 2 to the dash. Top 2 to the dash. Top 4 to the feature. 5th through 8th will find their way to the B main. Everybody else to the C. All right, let's see where Tanner Pettit picks up the throttle here. We roll into turn number 3 to get our final heat race of the night underway here. Pettit picks up the throttle a little early. I don't think Harris anticipated that. Harris is going to fall back about 3 or 4 car lengths. Pettit now with the lead into 1 and 2. Side by side back here. We're about 3rd on back. Simon's going to get himself up to 3rd. Here comes Ehrman in the 4th spot. He has got the 15 of Sheridan to his outside. And Ricky Thompson in the 24 right there with him. Up front, though, it is all Tanner Pettit. Runs about the middle of the racetrack off of 4. He'll see him go up to the cushion here in 1 and 2. Harris now down to the bottom of 1 and 2. Gets a good slide, but not able to clear Thompson. Your battle here is for the final transfer spot of Grady Ehrman. Sheridan down to the bottom. He is going to get underneath of Ehrman for that final transfer spot. He gets a good run off the bottom of the racetrack. It's a drag race right now for 4th as they head down to 1 and 2. Sheridan on the bottom, Ehrman on the top. Sheridan has 4th right now. 2 left down, 6 to go. Pettit, it is all Tanner Pettit out front, about 0.6 of a second now back to Gunnar Harris. Simon's in 3rd, Sheridan, Ehrman. Gallows made a good run. He's up 2 spots up to 6, but he's still 2 spots out of a transfer. Robinson and Big Money Sargent right there behind him. Keep an eye on Sheridan. It looks like our top 4 are kind of separated out here. Pettit, Harris, Simons, and Sheridan. We got 3 laps left to go here. We come across the line. Pettit right up on the cushion. He is running right against the fence. See that car drive down this back straightaway. Off of turn number 4, 2 to go in the air for Tanner Pettit, Gunnar Harris, Simons, and Sheridan. We're pretty well spread out here in this last heat race. Not really any action going on. Everybody probably a single filed out from about 1st all the way back to 10th. Well, keep an eye on your leader in the 24. Comes off of turn number 4 right on the fence. And you can just see the drive on that car driving down the racetrack off the corner down the middle of the straightaway. And Pettit now with about almost a 2-second lead back to Harris. As we're going to come off of turn number 4 down across the line. It's going to be Tanner Pettit bringing home the win in heat race number 5. Gunnar Harris, Casey Simons, Michael Sheridan, Grady Ehrman, and Dustin Big Money Sargent. That's our top 6, and it's Greg Robinson and Dustin Steinman. Shane Gallo had a good run, but he's going to fall back to 9th. Brandon Rogers in 10th. That is going to round up our heat races. We are make our way on to, I believe, it's going to be the C main. I don't think we had enough for a D. That's the thing about the dirt racing here. It is just fast and woolly, as I say. I don't know if that's really a good saying or not, but it's we just go right from one race to the other. There's not much time in between. As we look here, and actually just getting out of that last C race, Shane Gallows now finds himself on the pole here for the C. Bring our grid up here. All right, the 21 of Gallows is going to start on the pole. John O'Brien to his outside. Tony Dominguez is going to start in third. Alex Kerstetter in the 4 starting spot here in the C main. Jesse Bandy in 5th. Brandon Rogers in the 6th starting spot. Back to 7th. Dakota Kuhn and Joseph Johnson going to occupy row number 4. Back to row number 5 on the inside, Jack Young. Jack had a good fast car in a heat race, but it got involved in an incident, sends him back here into the C. And Corlin Bocus in the 10th spot. Ricky Thompson and Joseph Grandy and Kelly Carmen is going to round out our 13-car field. I don't think we're going to see Kerstetter, Grandy, or Carmen take the green flag here. It looks like they did not check in. They did not grid up here, so it looks like we're going to have 10 cars here in the C for 4 spots. Alright, so we'll get this going here. C main, looks like 10 laps. 10 laps, 4 spots to go to the B. We'll see if anybody can make a run that we saw Mason Hannigan do on Tuesday. Alright, Gallo's going to set the pace here for the C main. We're going to come off for 3 and 4 this time by 10 laps. 4 from the C to the B. Gallo, O'Brien, Dominguez, Rogers. Gallo with a good jump. He is going to take the lead down into 3 and 4. It looks like we're 3 wide back here. We'll keep an eye on this action right here in the middle of the racetrack. The 4 of O'Brien had a good run there, but he's going to have to check up. Bandy right now up to 4th. Dakota Kuhn with a fantastic run on the bottom of the racetrack. He is going to make a little contact with Bandy. He has to check up. Young gets into the back of him. Our top 4 right now, Gallo, Dominguez, Kuhn now up to 3rd. He is going to find his way around O'Brien. Kuhn looks to be the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Started in 7th, already up to 3rd. Take a look at the 49 of Bandy. He is falling back just a little bit. The 24 of Thompson right there with him. But right now up front, it is Shane Gallo. 9 laps left to go to come across the line. Now 8 laps left to go. Down the back straightaway, Shane Gallo with the lead. Dominguez, Kuhn, and O'Brien. Those are your 4 transfer cars right now. The first car out looking in is Johnson. Looks like Kuhn got a little bit slid up. Was able to slow. Kuhn with a mistake. Or excuse me, that's Dominguez with a mistake off of... well, let me correct myself for the second time. O'Brien, John O'Brien in the 4. Gets loose off the corner. Turns sideways. Collects the inside barrier. Let's keep an eye here and see what happens. It looks like he was by himself here on the racetrack. Just gets looser off of 3 and 4. And just loses the back of the car. He's got Dakota Kuhn to his outside. It just looks like a mistake here from O'Brien. You can see him still on the pedal, spinning the tires, trying to turn it around all the way, but unfortunately going to catch the inside wall. He's going to take some heavy damage on the front of the 4. That sends him right to the pits. So unfortunate there for the 4 of O'Brien. He had himself in a transfer spot, but makes a mistake. Going to find himself in the pits. Well, you could be right, Tyler. I don't have anybody telling me. I'm just taking a guess. So Tyler's telling me that it may be the D main, so that just might be right. So 10 laps probably is the D main. So we'll change this over. It looks like I don't have anybody feed me any information except for Tyler. So appreciate you, Tyler. You should just be here every night, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll just change it to the D. We're gonna go with Tyler's word here, unless somebody's telling me different in the chat. And I don't see anybody from race control with any notes, so we're going to call it the D. Alright, still 4 cars transfer from the D to the C. But Gallo, Dominguez, Kuhn, Bandy. Right now, that's your top 4 transfer spots. Jack Young, one spot out. Jack Young had a fast car early in the heat race. Let's see if he can find a way around Bandy to get himself into the C main. Gallo's going to bring us to the line. Green flag in the air one more time. 4 laps down, 6 to go. Dakota Kuhn out of the bottom of Dominguez here, but Dominguez with a great run off the top of 2. He sets his sights on Gallo for the lead. Bandy's got his hands full with Thompson, so it looks like Young fell back there on the restart. Thompson now trying to get around Bandy for that final transfer spot into 4th. Rogers right there is with him as well. Jack Young now falling back to 7th. Gallo still hanging on to the lead. He's got Dominguez in 18 all over the back of him. Watch for the 18 to look to the bottom, going into 3. Gallo's going to go to the bottom. He's going to give the outside of the racetrack to Dominguez. Dominguez is going to have a... Looks like that cushion has got where you want to be, because Dominguez is going to drive right around Gallo off of 4. Dominguez, Gallo, Kuhn. Bandy, now we've got a battle back here going off of the final transfer spot. Kuhn there in 3rd. Bandy, Young, and Thompson right now all trying to fight for that final transfer spot. It's Jesse Bandy, but here comes Young to the bottom into 1. Can't quite make the pass. If he loses the momentum, it's going to slide back to 24 of Thompson. It's going to make his way around. Young with a great run down the back straightaway. I don't know what he found down the middle of the back straightaway, but he's going to get by Thompson and Bandy right now. He's going to take that 4 spot away. And as a matter of fact, he's looking up, trying to get around Dakota Kuhn. I'm not sure if Kuhn wore his tires out or has a little bit of damage, but Kuhn off the pace from where he was earlier. 2 laps left to go. A lap and here comes Young. Young now up to 3rd. Kuhn's falling back a little further. He's got at that final transfer spot, but Bandy right there with him. Little mistake there from Gallo. So Gallo had the lead here. Makes a big mistake. He is now back to 3rd. Dominguez now to the front. I didn't see what happened to Gallo, but he had the lead with 2 to go. Here on the white flag guy, Bandy's going to get into Kuhn as they head into 3 and 4. Make a little contact. Bandy's going to go around. Coming across the line, it is going to be Thompson with the final transfer spot. So it's going to be Dominguez, Young, Gallo, Thompson. That is the top 4. That is going to be the transfer spots here into the feature. Gallo led most of that race and made a mistake there late. Ends up putting himself in 4th. All right, we'll get on to this. I believe it's going to be the C main. So Dakota Kuhn's going to miss the transfer spot. I think he might have used his stuff up early. He fell back there late. Fell back to 5th, fell out of the transfer. He'll be done for the night. So we'll go on to our C main event. Get our lineup going here. So on the pole, it's going to be Russ Corntaw with Greg Robinson starting in 2nd. Back to row number 2, Zach McLaughlin and Matthew Goins. David Baker in 5th with Anthony Villigring to start in the 6th starting spot. Back to the inside of row number 4, Dustin Steinman and Keith Chandler. In the 5th row, it's going to be Charles Wortman and Blake Carrick. And back in the 6th row, starting in 11th, it's going to be Joseph Groom and Tony Dominguez. We get back to row number 6, starting in 13th, it's going to be Jack Young, Shane Gallo, and then Ricky Thompson is going to round out our 15-car field here in the C main. 4 more cars will punch your ticket to the B. And we're just a couple more races away from setting our 24-car feature here at Williams Grove here for the Dirty Old Bastards Racing League 410 Sprint Series. Pace track's going to pull away here. Couple pace laps. Robinson and Corntaw. Corntaw's looked pretty good all week long. He's got the EPI sponsorship there on the nose wing. But he's got everybody's got some work here to do to get himself out of the C main through the B and to get himself into the show. Strong field of cars here tonight. The Dirty Old Bastards. If this is your first time watching this Dirty Old Bastards Sprint Series, either it's a 360 or the 410s. This is some of the toughest competitions you're going to find outside of the Pro Series races. This is, matter of fact, a lot of the Pro Series drivers are here tonight. But this is a fantastic racing, very competitive. Some of the top drivers in all of iRacing participate here at the Dirty Old Bastards, always putting on a great show. All right, one more time around as we come across flag stand. I don't know why I gotta check out why I don't have any grandstands. Looks like maybe they had a problem at Williams Grove. Remove the grandstands out of here to make some room for standing only tickets there, I'm guessing. All right, Corntal Robinson on the front row here. 12 laps in the C. Top 4 will transfer on. Base truck pulls in off of 4. Corntal's going to bring us to the line. Gonna wait for kind of a late start here. All the way off the corner before he gets on the throttle. Nobody was really expecting that. Corntal going to drive way about 6 or 7 car lengths. McLaughlin up to second. Robinson falls back to third. Goins and Villigren. Now that's your top 4th and 5th. So Goins right now, the final transfer spot there in the 56. Come off of turn number 4. Corntal with a good lead right here. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all right here together. Goins on the bottom. Robinson looking to go around the outside. So Robinson started outside the front rows, followed back to 4th, but he's got a good run here off of 2. Can he find his way around the 8 at Goins? And here comes Blake Carrick down there in the 21. Carrick, Tanner Pettit Racing, number 21. He has found something on the bottom of the racetrack. He's already up 4 spots here in the early laps. Started in 10th up to 6th. He is looking to find a way around Villigren. Villigren to the outside. Carrick with a good run off the bottom of the racetrack, down the back straightaway. Not able to clear Villigren. Villigren back at him on the outside. But Corntal's pulling away from the field, and it's second on back, all right here together. McLaughlin, Goins on the outside. Here comes Villigren with a fantastic run up on the cushion. He's got Robinson to his inside. Carrick trying to follow Villigren around the top. Through 3 and 4, the 21 trying to get himself into a transfer spot. He's now up to 5th. Corntal way out in front. We're going to keep an eye back here. Goins to the outside. McLaughlin down there on the bottom. They're fighting for 2nd and 3rd, but here comes Villigren on the outside. Can he make up some ground here on McLaughlin? We got 4 down. We're going to come across the stripe to complete lap number 5. We'll have 7 laps left to go. 4 more drivers going to punch their way to the B main. Who's it going to be here? This last transfer spot's coming down between Villigren and Carrick. Carrick takes a run off the bottom of 2. Gonna try something a little bit different into 3 and 4. Back up to the cushion. He makes a good run. Closes up a couple of car lengths on Villigren. Take a look here at Russ Corntal just pulling away. He's about 2 seconds to the good. McLaughlin and Goins still going at it. McLaughlin working the bottom of the racetrack, has a good run off of 2 down on the bottom, but here comes Villigren. Carrick closing back in. We're halfway through this, come across the line now, 5 to go. Got 3 cars back here getting ready to fight for 1 spot. Or actually for 2 spots. McLaughlin, Villigren, and Carrick all right here together. Villigren and Carrick trying to reel in McLaughlin right here. Villigren has the last transfer spot. Carrick wants. He's going to look to the bottom coming off of 4. Villigren makes a little contact with the outside wall. Does not seem to hurt him too much. Does not lose to momentum. But here comes Carrick. He's going to slide up in front of Grilly and halfway through 1 and 2. I don't think Villigren anticipated that very well. He had to back out of the throttle. Lost a bunch of ground right there. So Carrick now up into 4th. He's in the final transfer spot. So it's Russ Corntal, Matthew Goins, McLaughlin. Now Carrick now to the outside of McLaughlin. Trying to make his way up, and caution is in the air. It looks like it may have involved Greg Robinson, our outside front row starter. Started in 2nd all the way to the back. Now we got first caution here in the C main. Let's see if we can see what happened. He's down on the bottom. It looks like the 17. Is that Steinman and the 17 they get together right there. So that is Steinman. Let's take another quick look at that here. Take a look at it in live time and live speed. So we got Steinman's getting underneath Robinson down the back straightaway. They make a little contact there in 3 and 4. And Robinson's gonna go around. Just lucky he didn't collect anybody else right there. See if we can find a little bit different camera angle. Take a look one more time. Simon had a run on the inside right there. Pushes up the racetrack in the center. They just make a little contact. Enough contact to send Robinson around. He looked like to be out of this race at this point. And it looks like Steinman is going to get an EOL here. Is going to get sent to the back. Race control is going to send the 17 to the back of the field for that incident. So, all right, so up front, it's been all Russ Corntal leading every lap of this race so far. We can pull up our lap leaders And you can see he has led every single race. It counts the yellow flags on some of my graphics, so that's why it said 11 when we only ran 9. But Corntalk, Goins, McLaughlin, Carrick, that's your top 4. That's your first transfer spots. And it's back to Villigren and Dominguez. All right, well, 3 laps left to go. When we go back to green flag race, we're going to go around one more time. Lights are still on the pace truck. A little bit more action going on in DRSN tonight. If you're once this race is over, you check out the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series, also live on the channel right now. They'll be wrapping up about the time. They'll still be racing probably by the time we're done here, so check them out. Tomorrow night we'll be back for the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series, and then Saturday night we have the JWR E Racing Money Series. Saturday Night Fever, Saturday Night whatever, I don't remember what it's called, but it's money racing here on Corinthal. All right, thank you, Corinthal. We're gonna call him Russ Corinthal now. We're gonna get it straight. Always appreciate when somebody corrects me. I really do, because I always mess it up. So Corinthal is gonna take the lead into 1. Goins and McLaughlin. Carrick takes a look to the outside, but look up front now. Goins has a run on Corinthal down on the bottom. Here comes McLaughlin as well. So McLaughlin to the outside. Goins got a horrible run off a 2. That's going to allow Carrick to get up alongside him, take that 3rd spot away. As a matter of fact, Goins out of a transfer. Now he falls back behind Villigren. Villigren to the outside. We'll keep an eye on his final transfer spot. Right now it's Corinthal out in front. McLaughlin, Carrick, that's your top 3. Keep an eye on his final transfer. You can see Goins on the bottom. Villigren right there behind him. It looks like Goins going to hang on to this. Come across the line. It is going to be Corinthal with the win. McLaughlin, Carrick gets himself up to 3rd. Goins going to take that final transfer spot to the B in 4th. Villigren's going to miss out. Jack Young also going to miss out. We're going to move ourselves on to the B main. All right, so we're going to have 17 cars start our B main tonight. 4 cars will go to the feature. And then we'll have a brief little warm-up period. And during that warm-up period, they're going to run a dash with the top 2 from each race. There'll be a 10-car dash to line up the first 10 starting spots in the feature, which kind of screws up my starting grid, but we're going to have to find a way to fix that here one of these days. All right. So on the pole here for the B main, Joshua Pickle to his outside, Ryan Scheidt in 3rd, Chris Sabeskay. Sabeskay had a good run in the heat. Let's see if he can stay up here and get a transfer spot to the feature. Austin Griffey in 4th, Grady Ehrman in the 5th spot. Ken Baum is going to start outside of run number 3 and 6. Nicholas McGeethy in 7th, Zach Hollinger 8th. Bowen Smith in the 012 in the 9th spot. Dustin Sargent going to start in 10th. Run number 6 in 11th spot, Brady King. And Jeffrey West is going to start this race in 12th. Back to 13th, Bryce Heinstein and Ross Corinthal in 14th, our B-main winner. Other 3 B-main cars, Zach McLaughlin and Blake Carrick and Matthew Goins. Let's keep an eye on Carrick. Let's see if he can find his way to the front of this, get himself to the feature. All right, we're going to keep an eye on the Jeffrey West car. He was gifted, he was sponsored a setup here. He started this night with a default setup, which is usually not going to get you to the front, but it did get himself out of the heat race to the B, so we'll see if he can make his way up in the back of this, get himself into a transfer spot. You got some tough competition in there. Pickle, Scheidt, Sabeskay, Griffey. That's right, your top 4 here as we start off. All right, one more time around here. If we roll off to turn number 4. I want to appreciate you spending your Thursday night with us here with the Dirty Old Bashers 410 Sprint Series. Don't forget, we'll be back Tuesday night with the Dirty Old Bashers as well. 360 sprints on Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. That's some great racing. Where are we this week? But we're Kern County. Go out to California for the 360s Tuesday night. All right, pace truck pulls in there. In turn number 3, it's going to be up to Pickle. He is going to start this race off at turn number 4. Joshua Pickle waits late. It's going to be Pickle, Sabeskate, Shite, and Griffey. That's your top 4 right now. Good battle going here in the back. It looks like the 9 of Hollinger finds a way around the outside. Bowen Smith down on the bottom of the racetrack. He is going to get clear of Ehrman. Going to move himself up close to a transfer slot up to 5th. He's 1 spot out. Bowen Smith down on the bottom of the racetrack. We have got a gaggle of cars off of 4. 3 wide here in the back. Everybody trying to find their way up to the top 4. We see the 24 of West up on the outside of the racetrack. He's trying to get to the front. Pickle, Griffey. Actually, it's Pickle, Sabeskate, Griffey, Ehrman. That's your top 4 now. Grady Ehrman down on the bottom. Smith now moves himself back up into 5th spot, but look on the outside of the racetrack. Is that Brady King? Brady King in the 10 had a good run out there. Actually, 3 wide one more time off of 4. 4 wide off of turn number 4. 10 car's going to make a little contact with the outside wall. Sabeskate now finds his way to the point. Pickles fiddles second. We got a caution. Not sure who it was back here in the back. It looks like maybe Hollinger, McLaughlin involved. Ken Baum did not start the race, so McLaughlin, you started in 15th. Hollinger just started up in 8th, just falling back to 15th here. So let's see if we can see what happened. A lot of action going on here in the B main. I need about 5 more cameras, I think. So let's take a look here at McLaughlin down here in 11, down on the bottom of the racetrack. You can see the 9 of Hollinger come in here, and I think Hollinger's going to get in the back of him. Here's my anticipation what's going to happen, and he does just that. So McLaughlin lost a lot of speed getting in the corner. Hollinger was not able to get checked up, got into the back of the 11. And that looks like that's going to retire the 9 of Hollinger, and maybe McLaughlin's going to find himself back out onto the racetrack. All right, so 3 laps down. Yellow flag still in the air. We're going to go around here at least one more time, it looks like. Your top 4 transfer cars right now is Sabeskate, Pickle, Ehrman, Griffey. Keep an eye on the 21 of Carrick. He's up 10 spots already. Started back in 16th. He's up to 6th. He just needs a couple more spots to get himself back into the feature. The 9 of Hollinger going to find his way out of the pits. Get back out on the racetrack. So we've got 16 cars still left on the racetrack. 11 laps left to go. Your leader right now is a 21 at Chris Sabeskate. Alright. Lights will go out on the iRacing pace truck. We come around this time off of turn number 4. We'll go around one more time. 4 cars. Got 16 cars left on the racetrack. Only 4 are going to go on. The rest are going to go home. We look here at the 12 of Bowen Smith. Bowen in the 5th spot right now. He is 1 spot out, but he has got the 21, the hard charging 21 of Blake Carrick now up to 6th. All right, green flag this time by Chris Sabeskate will bring us to the line. Single file restart. Pace truck pulls in. Sabeskate gonna bring us off of turn number 4. Gonna get on the throttle. Gonna bring us to the green flag. Sabeskate, Pickle, Ehrman. That is your top 3. Then it's Griffey, Carrick now to the outside of the racetrack. He is trying to find a way around. Oh, Griffey with a mistake. It looks like Griffey and Bowen got together. Griffey got the worst of it. He is going back. Pickle now back to the lead. We got 5 cars for 4 spots up here. It looks like Carrick making a little bit of mistake catching the wall down off of turn number 4. He's to the outside of Smith for that final transfer spot. Up front, it's Sabeskate, Pickle, and Ehrman now side by side for 2nd. Bowen Smith in 4th. We got 5 laps down, 9 to go. Bowen Smith and Carrick, now that's your top 5. Only 4 of these cars can go on. Brady King also starting to sneak in here. We're about to have 5 cars trying to fight out for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. As here comes Sabeskate now starting to set sail up on the top of the racetrack. He is working that cushion off of turn number 2. Pickle and Ehrman now 2nd and 3rd. Smith in 4th. Here comes Carrick now to the bottom. Carrick running the middle of the racetrack right now. He's found a little bit of a different line here off of 4. Just not quite enough bite to get up alongside of Bowen. They're going to go into turn number 1 on the bottom of the racetrack. Does not slide up. He's going to hold the bottom. Good run off the bottom of 2. Carrick now up there. Oh, makes contact with Smith. Smith and Carrick get together. Nice save there from Bowen Smith. He made just a little contact with the outside wall, but able to collect it up. And that is going to bring out a caution. It looks like Austin Griffey going to go around. So a little contact. We'll see if we can take a quick look at that here. See if I can find it on my events. It looks like Carrick is going to get sent back a spot, it looks like here. So let's take a look to see if we can see that contact down the back straightaway here between Carrick and Smith. So Smith's going to good run off the top of the corner. Yeah, it looked like maybe Carrick started to go up the racetrack right there. Smith was there. They make a little contact to kind of just meet in the middle of the racetrack. But it looks like they're going to send Blake Carrick back a spot and give Bowen Smith 4th place back. So we still got Sabeskate, Erman, Pickle, Smith. That's your top 4. Then it's Blake Carrick, Brady King. Now we're going to look at West. What happened to West? It looks like we were going to keep an eye on Jeffrey West, but we did not see what happened to him. But he seems to be out of this race. So the 27. We've got 14 cars left out on the racetrack. Austin Griffey was the last involved in that last caution. It looks like he may be out of this race, so we've got 13 left there, maybe. Alright, yellow flag still in the air. Lights are out on the pace truck as we come around. Go around one more time. Chris Sabeskate, Erman, Pickles, Bowen Smith. That is your 4 transfer cars right now. First car out of a transfer spot is Blake Carrick in the 21. Started this race back in 16th. He's passed 11 cars to find himself up in 5th. Russ Corentas, 1RC main. He has got himself up to 7th. He's up 7 spots. He's a few spots out of this. Got a lot of good cars right now, not finding themselves into the A main. Alright, pace truck's off the racetrack. Sabeskate's on the throttle, gonna bring us to the line. Green flag in the air one more time here in the B main. We got 6 laps left to go. Sabeskate, Erman, Pickle, that's your top 3. Bowen Smith down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's taking a look under Pickle. Blake Carrick now back to 6th, back to 5th. Carrick now to the outside. Everybody else in front of him running on the bottom of the racetrack, and Carrick finds something off of 4. He has got the cushion working off of 3 and 4. Carrick now up to 4th. He gets around Pickle. Pickle now falls to 5th. Carrick has found a little groove up there on the outside of the racetrack. He is going to get around Bowen Smith here for 3rd. They head into 3 and 4. Carrick running a little bit of a slider line, goes in the middle of the racetrack, jumps up on the cushion off of 4. Seems to be working. Smith now falls back to 4th. He has got Pickle now right there behind him. And here comes Corentas, Russ Corentas, looking to come out of the B. We might have 2 cars transfer from the B. Carrick's got himself a transfer spot. Corentas 2 spots out of this. Up front, it is still Sabeskate, Erman, and now Carrick. That's our top 3, all fighting for the win here in the B main. Erman down to the bottom to see if he slides up. No, he's going to run the bottom of the racetrack. Going to give Sabeskate the whole outside. And it looks like that outside might be going a little bit away off of 2, as Erman was able to get a better run off the bottom of the racetrack. He is going to clear Sabeskate into 3. Our top 4 right now, Sabeskate, Carrick now up to 2nd, Erman to 3rd, Smith back to 4th. Corentas has found himself up into 5th. He's got a couple of laps left to go to get one more spot. Can he reel in the 12 with Smith right there? We're still up here in the front. 3 cars fighting it out for the lead. Sabeskate, Carrick, Erman. White flag in the air one more time around. We come across the line into 1 and 2. Carrick with a little mistake catches the outside wall, but he's going to hang on to 3rd. Bowen Smith in 4th. Side by side here for 2nd. Erman in 2nd. Carrick to the outside. Carrick's going to get by him for 2nd. Actually, Carrick might just win this at the line. It looks like it's going to be Blake Carrick taking the win. He is going to get past Sabeskate and Erman both off of turn number 4 to take the win here in the B main. Sabeskate, Erman, Bowen Smith, Russ Corental, one spot out, had a great run coming from all the way in the back. He's going to come home one spot short in 5th. We're going to have a little bit of an intermission here. We're just going to call this the dash, I think, because they're going to run a little bit of a dash. So what they're going to do here in this warm-up is they're going to let some cars get out here, run a couple of laps, and they're just going to get our 10 cars out here. They're doing a manual lineup for 10 cars for, I believe it's 4 laps. I have to check on that one. Right. So while they're doing this, I'm going to step away for just a second, get myself a drink. We're going to play a few minutes here. A little word here from AI Chief. If you run any NASCAR stuff, I know we're watching a dirt race right now, but if you run any NASCAR stuff or road course stuff and you need some crew chief help, check out AI Chief. New piece of software that's coming out. They're still working on it, but it's a pretty nice piece of software they're putting together here to help you with your pit stops, with your strategy, all your spotter calls and all that stuff. So we'll be right back.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief. Your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we're back live. Getting ready to run our dash here in the Dirty Old Bashers. It's going to determine top 10 starting spots. It looks like they're getting lined up on the racetrack right now. Looks like Tanner Pettit is going to find himself on the pole. He is outside Gunnar Harris, Kenny Hoffman. And it looks like Yost to his outside. We're going green this time by. Pettit to the line. Got a big jump. Hoffman right there on the bottom of the racetrack. Aiden Forrester, Harris on the outside. Yost in the 99, then it's that Heinstein in the, or actually Lucius there in the 332 that makes a little bit of contact there with the 99, but right now it is Tanner Pettit racing up front. Pettit. Hoffman down to the bottom, Forrester there in 3rd. Gunnar Harris in the 4th spot, trying to find a way around Forrester for that 3rd spot. Harris down to the bottom, big slide, he's going to slide him in front of Forrester. Forrester sees it coming, cuts back underneath. Pettit, Hoffman, Forrester, Harris, that's your top 4 right now. Shane Yost back here battling out with Lucius. Harris now falls back a little bit to the outside. Here comes Lucius down the bottom of the racetrack. Going to try to take that 5th spot away from, or excuse me, the 4th spot away from Harris. And look at Kenny Hoffman down to the bottom of the racetrack. He finds a line on the bottom underneath Tanner Pettit. I don't have any idea how many laps we have left to go. Our timing and scoring is not working for this because it's all a manual thing, but it's right now it's Hoffman, Pettit battling it out for the lead. Forrester right there behind it, but it's Tanner Pettit racing. And here comes Bryce Lucis into 332. Found a good groove down the back straightaway, made up a bunch of time. Falls back a little bit here off of 4. Hoffman rolling the bottom of the racetrack, really making it work. Here comes Pettit to the outside. Forrester behind him right there, but right now it is Kenny Hoffman out in front. Pettit up on the outside. Forrester now down to the bottom. Forrester's going to find his way around the 24. So right now that bottom line here in the dash seems to be working pretty well as here comes Lucius now in the 332. He makes his way up on Pettit. Pettit drops down to the bottom. You get passed by two of your teammates on the bottom in a different groove. You're going to go down there with them. But right here, Aiden Forrester now has made up some ground here on the back of Hoffman. That's our battle here up front. And Hoffman and Forrester both going to make their way to the outside of the racetrack. It looks like that was going to be the finish. That looks like the finish of the race. So it looks like Kenny Hoffman, Forrester, Pettit, and Lucius. That was your top four. So for us, with all of our fancy graphics and timing and scoring and all this stuff, it's doesn't really help us when they run a manual dash like that. And then they're also going to do the lineup manually for the top 10 spots. We'll have to try to figure that out as we go. Looks like we're going to have a few drivers come out and make a few practice laps here as well for the warm-ups. You see Forrester here in the 20 finish second there on the dash. Going to come out and make a few more laps, or maybe they try to make a couple more adjustments on the car. See how this track progresses. It looked like the bottom was the place to be there in the dash. So see if that still holds up for the feature. Take a look here at the 31 of May. A good run in the heat race after getting involved in an early caution. Got himself into the feature, so Andrew May. See if he can make his way up to the front of this. It looks like they're going to fast forward on time, so we're down about 5 seconds left here in warm-ups. We're going to time travel to the A. We had about 8 minutes left to go, and it looks like we're going to go right to the feature. Alright, we're going to try our best here with the first 10 spots in the starting grid, because I know what I'm going to show you here is not going to be correct, so we'll get over to the grid and see who we can see who lines up. So it looks like it's going to be Hoffman, Forrester, and Pettit. So what they're going to do is they're going to line up here in the spots that's showing on the screen right now, and then they'll go around for an extra pace lap and kind of sort it out. So we've got 31 laps on the timing and scoring. It's only a 30-lap feature. You take that extra lap to get everybody lined up in the right spots after running the dash. Well, thanks again for being here with us tonight. So we know the top 4 spots are going to be Hoffman, Forrester, Pettit will start in 3rd. 4th will be Lucius, and then about 5th on 10th, I didn't really see who finished in there, but I know 11th is going to be Spencer Putney, Ty Schoblock in 12th, Mason Hannigan is going to try to come from the 13th spot, Schaaf, Simons, Austin Mueller in 16th, Trevor Royer in the 90th, going to start back there in the 17th spot. To his outside is going to be Jeremy Zarfos, Andrew May in 19th, Michael Sheridan 20th. Then we got some B-main cars, Blake Carrick, Chris Sabeskate, Grady Ehrman, and Bowen Smith. So let's see if we can see how this lines up in the front and see if we can figure out everybody that's up here. So right now, we'll zoom out. We see Hoffman on the pole, Forrester to his outside. Tanner Pettit, Bryce Lucius. And then it looks like it's going to be Gunnar Harris and Connor Dudek in the 3rd row. Back to the 4th row, it looks to be Shane Yost on the bottom and Riley Gray to the outside. And then it's going to be Aiden Stoll and Matthew Rogers going to finish out the top 10 spots there from the dash. Alright, 30 laps of racing action. We're going to go around at least one more time here. I think we'll have the pace truck pull off, and then we'll go around one more lap after that. A-main action here for the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Series. Getting underway. Let's see if they go green this time or next time by. So it looks like the pace truck is going to go around. He's going to pull in, so I think we're going to go around one more lap. One more lap around, then we'll have a manual green flag off of 4. Hoffman, Forrester. Ignore the timing tower saying green flags in the air. Hoffman, Forrester, Pettit, Lucius. That is our top 4 right now. We've got some fantastic racing here all night long at Williams Grove. It has been multi-groove racetrack. The bottom looked really good in the dash. Let's see how if anybody can find anything up against the cushion here in the feature. All right, gonna roll through 3 and 4 here one more time. Kenny Hoffman bringing us to the line. Green flags in there. It's Hoffman, Forrester, Pettit, Lucius on the outside. 2, 3, 4 wide racing back here in the middle of the pack. We see the 72 of Stull down here on the bottom. He's going to go trying to get underneath Rogers, but up front, Pettit now to the bottom. Forrester to the top. Here comes Gunnar Harris there looking underneath Lucius. Little contact there with Lucius and Forrester, but no harm, no foul. They're going to keep going. Hoffman still down the bottom. Pettit on the bottom. Lucius up on the top. He is trying to make that cushion work off of 2. Just looks like the top just went away right there. Lucius not able to get a run. The bottom off of 2 looks to be the better place to be. But you got to go where they're not if you want to make up some ground. So Bryce Lucius trying to find a way around Aiden Forrester. Some great racing going on back here in the middle of the pack. You see Rogers on the outside. Here comes the one of Hannigan trying to find a way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Showblock right there behind him. Up front, it is all Tanner Pettit racing. Hoffman still with the lead. He's got Tanner Pettit right on. Forrester moved to the top of the racetrack. It looks like the top off of 4 worked pretty good there for Aiden Forrester. Lucius to the outside now. Forrester off of 2 takes a look to the outside of Pettit. We jump back here a little further here. Here's Mason Hannigan now up to 10th. Showblock right there with 3 wide off of 4. Stull, Rogers, Showblock all right here together. Mason Hannigan right there behind him. This is for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Right there behind him is the 3 of Schaaf and Zarfos right there as well. So Mueller and Schaaf right there. But here comes, look at Forrester trying to make that top work off of turn number 4. We've got 25 laps left to go in this race. Hoffman, Pettit, Forrester, that is your top 3. Take a look back here a little bit further. Gunnar Harris now trying to find a way around Lucius for 4th. It looks like we're 1 groove on the bottom. That top, it looks to be gone. I don't see anybody making it work. Forrester's going to try to make something work in 1 and 2. Lucius trying to make the middle of the racetrack work there off the 2 as well, but just not going to be able to make it work right there. And here comes Harris now. Harris has got his hands full with Dudek. Look at Matthew Rogers trying to make the outside of that work off of turn number 4, but he's going to lose a little bit of ground. Hannigan's going to get around. Mueller's going to get around, and so is Zarfos. Caution is out. Caution is on the racetrack, and it looks like it might involve Ryland Gray in the 06. Rogers as well involved in this. It looks like Gunnar Harris also. You see the 54 up there, so it must have started somewhere towards the front. Let's see if we can see what happened here. So we see Harris up there on the top of the racetrack by himself. Head down into 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here with the 54. Oh, contact with Dudek. So it looked like Harris was up on the top of the racetrack. And I think Dudek expected him to stay out there. Harris decided he was going to turn down to the bottom. They make contact right there. Harris goes around. Here comes May. You see May involved. Here comes, I'm not sure who that was, but in NASCAR racing, we call that arc braking. Is that the 90 of Royer? I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was. But we got Rogers involved in this. Riley Gray, Putney, Royer, Harris, and Showblock all with some repairs down in the infield right now. We'll see how much time they give them. Take a look at that. Let's just take a quick look at that here one more time. From Matthew Rogers' perspective, you can see Rogers right here. Well, he gets turned off the nose of Mueller, so that's actually a separate incident. We had 2 different incidents going right there, so it looks like Rogers and Mueller got together behind the incident that was starting up front with Harris and Dudek. All right, let's get back to live time here before we miss the restart. All right, it's Kenny Hoffman, Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forrester. That is your top 3. Bryce Lucius. Shane Yost now's got himself up into 5th. Aiden Stull 6th. Mason Hannigan's now up to 7th. He's up 6 spots. Mason had a fantastic run in the 360s on Tuesday night. but fell short when he got to the feature. Austin Mueller now up to 8. Jay Schaaf, Jeremy Zarfos, Michael Sheridan, Casey Simmons, Chris Sapescape, Blake Carrick, Andrew May, Grady Ehrman, and Bowen Smith. That was our B-main cars. They're trying to make their way back up to the front here, so it looks like, let's see if anybody gets, I see Putney's made his way back out, Rylan Gray's made his way back out to the racetrack. It looks like Rogers as well, Warrior and Dudick also making their way back out to the racetrack. We're going to go green this time by. Hoffman's going to bring us to the line. Pettit's right there with him off the corner. Not a great jump for Hoffman, but Pettit now to his outside. Here comes Lucius now up to third. He gets around Forrester on the outside. Trying to make the middle of that racetrack. It looks like the middle's starting to work in a little bit. You can see Lucius with a good run off of 2. It's going to pull Forrester down the back straightaway. Hannigan now up to 5th. I think Hannigan got by 3 cars right there on that restart. Watch the one of Mason Hannigan. We have got another cluster going on back here in the back. 2-3 wide racing all the way throughout the field, but up front right now, it is Kenny Hoffman, the 24 Pettit. That middle groove looks to be coming in right there, especially off of turn number 2. Watch Tanner Pettit. Hoffman's going to slide up to the top of the racetrack. Going to get slider line off of 4. Lucius now up to 3rd. Forrester 5th. Mason Hannigan down on the bottom. All 5 cars here. Fight for lead. Pettit's going to take the lead away from Hoffman. Able to dive down in front of him off a turn through the middle of 1 and 2. So it's still Tanner Pettit now to the lead. Lucius now to 2nd. Hoffman falls back to 3rd. That middle line has really come in here late in this race. We're about halfway through this race, actually. Lucius now up to 2nd. Hoffman trying to fight back on the bottom. The 24 Pettit out in front. Hoffman able to clear Lucius off of 4. This is your battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now with Lucius, Hoffman, Forrester, and Hannigan. 4 cars. You can throw a blanket on him right now. Hoffman now to the bottom. Forrester's trying to follow him through. They're going to find their way around Lucius now into 3 and 4. So it looks like the slider line through 3 and 4 is working really well. And then about the middle of the racetrack through 1 and 2. But Lucius gets a great run off the middle of 4 right there as well. So 3 wide right there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Lucius, Forrester, and Hannigan. Some fantastic racing going up here front. We'll take a little look to the back here real quick. See what's going on, but right now it's kind of hard to take our eyes off this battle up front. There's some fantastic racing here all night long, and they're not disappointed in the feature. Lucius trying to find a way around Hoffman. Blake Carrick now finds his way up to 6th. Can he get himself up into battle for this top spot? He's a little ways back, but he has made his way up 15 spots, started in 21st, all the way back up to 6th now. Back here in the middle, we take a look at Sheridan, May, Putney, all back here, running back here in about 16th, 17th, and 18th. Matthew Rogers trying to find a way back to the front. Right now, up front, though, a 2.5 seconds to the good is Tanner Pettit. Our battle is for 2nd. Three wide one more time. Hannigan now to 2nd. He gets underneath Kenny Hoffman. It's the battle of the ones for 2nd and 3rd. Hannigan now. Hoffman to the top. Can he get a run off of 4? It looks like there's a little bit of bite up there on the outside for Hoffman. He is going to clear Hannigan. They're going to get together into 1. A little bit of contact. Hoffman dropped down to the bottom in front of Hannigan. They make a little contact right there. But they're going to keep it straight and keep it going. We're still clean and green. Hoffman back to the top of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Mason Hannigan to the bottom. He's got Forrester right there behind him. Drag race down the front straightaway for 2nd. Forrester now trying to get around Hannigan for 3rd. Battle's starting to smooth out a little bit right back here. We go back a little spot here. It's Yost and Mueller. This is for 8th and 9th. Looks like Sabeskate also in this battle. Looks like maybe Simons as well. Up front, it's all Tanner Pettit. Kenny Hoffman, Mason Hannigan, Aiden Forrester. That's your top 4. That's a little ways back to Lucius. Lucius starting to lose a little pace here a little bit. He's falling back off of this battle for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. We'll keep an eye up for Hannigan to the bottom of Forrester for 3rd. We got 10 laps left to go as we come across the line. Still 19 cars left out on the racetrack of the 24 that started. Hannigan, Forrester with a little bit of contact. Forrester goes up the racetrack. Hannigan able to clear him off of 4 right here. Forrester going to come back at him down the front chute. Forrester back to third is Pettit, Hoffman, and Aiden Forrester. 1, 2, 3. Carrick still in 6th, not able to make up a lot of ground on the top 4 right or top 5 right here in front of him. Eight laps left to go of the 30. Jay Schaaf now is up to 5th, 7th. So big move of the race is Blake Carrick. Started in 21st, now up 15 spots. Chris Sabeskate started in 22nd. He's up to 11th. He's up 11 spots. But out front right now, it is all Tanner Pettit in the 24. He is almost 3 seconds out in front of this. He's found a nice little groove through 3 and 4 up here on the top. But I don't think anybody else has really found running that well. Hoffman's trying to run it, but doesn't seem to quite have the same pace right there. But he's got Forrester to his inside for second. Hannigan now sort of settle into 4th. Looks like that battle for second is going to come down between Hoffman and Forrester. Now 6 laps left to go. The 332 here of Lucius now in 5th. Now, battle's going all throughout the field here. We take a look here at the Aiden Stoll. He is trying to look underneath Mueller. He's going to take that spot away from Mueller. That's for 8th and 9th. Yost right there behind him. Sabeskate and Simmons all right here in this fight. I don't see any lap cars. 4 laps left to go here for Pettit. Lap traffic is not going to become an issue here tonight. Take a look at the 12 of Bowen Smith. He moved up 9 spots. He's up to 15th after starting 24th. Looks like all of our leaders have moved up to the top of the racetrack through 3 and 4. Hannigan trying to run a little bit of a middle groove right there. But unless a caution comes out right now with 2.5 laps left to go as they go under the bridge down the back straightaway, it's going to be all Tanner Pettit. Comes across the line, 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air, as they say. Hoffman and Forrester still fighting out. Forrester is the points leader here for the 410s. He's leading both the 360s and the 410s in the Dirty Old Bastards. He is coming back at Hoffman for second. This is our battle on the racetrack. 1 to go. We show you Tanner Pettit, but he is way out in front. 4 seconds out in front. You can see as Forrester and Hoffman make their way into 1. Pettit's already down halfway down the back straightaway. We'll keep an eye on our leaders. He comes across the line, but at the same time, we're going to keep an eye on the battle for second and third. So here comes Pettit off of 4. He is going to take the win here at Williams Grove. Back to Hoffman and Forrester. Forrester takes a look to the bottom of that drag race, but it's going to be Kenny Hoffman coming up in second, Aiden Forrester third, Mason Hannigan fourth, Bryce Lucis in 5th, Carrick all the way from the back up to 6th, Jay Schaaf in 7th, Aiden Stoll, Shane Yost, Austin Mueller, Chris Sabeskate, Casey Simons, Jeremy Zalfrost, Trevor Royer in 14th, back to 15th, going to be Bowen Smith in the 12th, Spencer Putney comes home in 16th, Andrew May after starting in 19th comes home 17th, and it's Michael Sheridan going to come home in 18th. That was the last 18 cars left on the racetrack. "30 laps of racing action here at Williams Grove went by in a hurry. Only a few caution flags tonight. Let's see if anybody makes their way to the Discord. Let's see if we can find our leader here on the front chute. They usually do a nice job of parking right here on the front for us for a nice podium shot. And then Aiden always leaves a little earlier. All right, see if we can get anybody up into the booth for a interview. All right, Tanner, are you there? All right, let me get some sound here changed for you. I can hear you, but nobody else can, so just a second here. All right, try that one more time. Tanner Pettit here in the booth. Chris Murphy with you, buddy. How you doing?
Good.
That looked like a lot of fun, and then it got really easy at the end.
Yeah, definitely. I figured we'd be locked around the bottom there for most of that race, but off that restart, I knew if I want to have a shot, I'd kind of have to go up and try something. And luckily, it worked for a couple laps, and I actually felt really good in 3 and 4. So I kind of just stuck up there, and overall, it worked out for us.
Yeah, most of the sprint car races that we've covered so far this season, definitely the most track movement we've seen here was tonight here at Williams Grove. It looked like the bottom was the place to be early. The middle of the racetrack kind of came in kind of in the middle section there, especially through 1 and 2. But once you guys found that top in 3 and 4, it just looked, you just set sail up there. You guys just really had it dialed in.
Yeah, definitely. It was a blast running up there. It was super slick. Had to be super easy with the right foot, but super proud of the team. Kenny and Aiden going 1, 2, 3 again, making it a podium round out, which is super impressive for the team.
Well, I don't know if it's we're gonna call it there's a broadcaster curse, maybe there's a broadcaster good luck. So I mean the last few races we've been here, it's been Tanner Pettit racing all across the podium. Another great run tonight, man. But let's see, we come back next Tuesday night. You're gonna be back for the 360s, I think at Kern County, and then we come back next Thursday. I haven't even had a chance to look at the schedules. Where are we at next Thursday, Chris? Do you know?
Usage.
You're at Houston's. All right, so a couple short track races next week. How you feeling about that?
Oh, feel pretty good around both Kern and Houston's. Ryan Avila, member of our team, has won a Pro Series event there at Houston's before, so got some good luck going into that. And I think we've won a few money races around Kern, so looking forward to both those and see how we end up.
Well, looking forward to it as well. I like me some good short track action. I grew up around the quarter-mile racetracks up here in Oregon, so anytime we get a chance to cover a short track race, it's like going home. But fantastic job again tonight, man. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. I'd like to thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, SimWrap Market, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective. I'd like to thank all my team members, anybody who supports my website. I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, Chris for putting on the league. It's all a blast. Thank you guys.
All right, man. Good. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right. We'll get our second place finisher. Kenny Hoffman, you got Chris up in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, look at that. Another podium for you tonight, man. You had a really good run. You started on a pole. You won the dasher, started on the pole, and, you led a lot of the early on. Is there anything you could have done a little bit different, you think, to keep Tanner behind you?
Just not really get ran over. Honestly, it's just, we were very quick tonight from right out the box, and quick time and heat win, and obviously, like you said, the dash as well. It's just, we had really good pace to start the feature there, and we could run our smooth laps, and that yellow just kind of stacked everybody up, and just kind of got racing with Tanner. I knew the top was probably going to come in 3 and 4, just the way it looked, and he found it first, and just tried to get racing with him, and before I knew it, I was just getting drove over by 2 other cars. So that definitely didn't help, and just kind of changed the way the race car handled, and just a lot of left rear damage, and just made it feel like really, really awkward for me. So wish didn't get ran into there, and maybe we could have been up there racing with Tanner. I felt like we had really good pace, and but not too bad, just to hang on for our podium, and most importantly, just Tanner Pettit racing going 1, 2, 3 again in another league.
And another good finisher for you tonight. We come back next week. A couple short track races. Kern on Tuesday night with the 360s, and then Huset's on Thursday night with the 410s. I know we talked a little bit last night, or Tuesday night actually, about Kern. How you feeling about Huset's on Thursday night?
Yeah, we should be good. Hopefully, just just I have my qualifying speed, and the 410s has been pretty good right now. So hopefully we can just load in and put down a real good qualifying effort to set ourselves up throughout the night. It's just gonna be tight bouldering racing, and just gotta do our best to keep the nose clean there, and hopefully come out alive and with a decent finish.
Well, congrats on a good run tonight. I know you were one spot out of where you wanted to be, but congratulations, man. Before we get you out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just of course Tanner Pettit for everything he does for us, and the whole team, just Tanner, Aiden, Ryan, Ashton, Blake, everybody just puts in a group effort together, and we're just pretty quick everywhere we go now. So huge thanks to all those guys, and you for broadcasting for us, Chris, for putting DOB up again for us. I say it a lot. It's definitely my favorite league to come out and race. So I appreciate his time 3 days a week to give us a place to race. And then thanks to our partners, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, Aces Up Sim Sport, CD Cinematography, 1425 Photography, Blake Carrick Racing, Ethan Johnson, Jordan Casey, with Free Speed for the late models, SimRap Market, and congrats to Tanner on the win and Aiden for third.
All right, man. Well, congrats again, and I'm sure we're going to talk to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully it all goes well.
All right, man. All right, get our third place finisher up here. Let's see here. Where'd he go? Just went to bring Aiden up into the booth, and then he disappeared. Oh, there he is. Aiden Forrester, you got Chris up in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Kind of disappeared off my screen for a minute. I'm not sure what happened. There's been some little buggy things going on tonight. Third place run. You guys had a great race going on there for quite a while. For second with with Mason and with Bryce and of course with Kenny and Tanner all right there together. You guys, the top 5 was just fantastic race early on, and then you kind of got singled out. It looked like Tanner found that outside line a little bit earlier than everybody else. Did you anticipate? It was early on. It was all around the bottom. Did you anticipate the track moving around the way it did?
Yeah, kind of. We 1 and 2 didn't really expect it to move too much, but 3 and 4 was the end where moves were going to be made and runs were going to come from, and that's what happened. And moved up. Tanner moved up pretty early, a few laps before us. We were all battling for second there for a while with Bryce and Mason and Kenny, and we lost a lot of time on Tanner there. Kind of hoping for a caution, but all in all, it's a good showing for TPR once again, going 1, 2, 3, and hopefully we can get us a couple spots better. We've been so close to getting us to win, and just need a little bit more luck to go our way, and we'll get us one.
Yeah, you got point. I mentioned it in the pre-race. You're leading the points on the 360s and the 410, but have yet to pick up a win this year. You don't always have to win a race to be up there at the championship. But how much? I know you want to pick up some race wins and to add to that. I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. This is the best I've felt without a win. So we're gonna keep digging. It'll come eventually. We'll have plenty of races left to get one. So like I said, we'll keep digging and hopefully we can get one.
We go to Houston's next week and a little short track. Get off these half miles for a little bit and do some short track action. How you feeling about that?
Oh yeah, love Houston. Houston's a great track, and hopefully have some good track prep. Maybe a reset for us, because Houston usually races a little better when there's some grip on the track. So hopefully we can get that, and we'll have a banger of a race.
Well, I think little hint for you there, Chris. Aiden trying to get a reset for next week, so maybe we can flip a coin, do a reset or not do a reset, or do something a little different. But
yeah, we did a reset with the 360 race there. So
there you go.
Get another huge crowd. There'll be a reset. Them short tracks, they get one.
It definitely helped out.
Yeah. Well, fantastic run again tonight, man. It seems like every time I cover a race, we're talking to you afterwards. Good luck whatever else you do the rest of the weekend. But before we let you go, anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, first of all, can't thank you enough for the broadcast. Can't thank Chris enough for putting on the league. Also can't thank Tanner Pettit enough at TPR for all the time he's put in to get us to compete at this level. He's done a lot for us. So can't thank him enough. Can't thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sport, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, SimRap Market, just everybody that supports us. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, sorry, I started to lose my voice there a little bit. So that's going to wrap up our night here at 410 Racing. Let's take a look at the full results here.
It's posted.
So coming on with the win, Tanner Pettit, as we talked, Kenny Hoffman, Aiden Forster, Tanner Pettit racing 1, 2, 3. Mason Hannigan with another fantastic run up to 4th, but just fell a little bit short there at the end. Bryce Lucius in 5th. Blake Carrick all the way up out of the B main up to 6th. Jay Schaaf's going to come home in 7th. Aiden Stoll, Shane Yost, Austin Mueller. That is going to round out our top 10. It was Chris Sabeskay. Also out of the B main, another good run up to 11th. Casey Simmons, Jeremy Zarfoss, Trevor Royer, Bowen Smith, Spencer Putney, Andrew May, Michael Sheridan, Ryland Gray, Matthew Rogers. That rounds out our top 20. We get back to the last 4 cars here. Grady Ehrman. Gunnar Harris involved in an early incident with Connor Dudek. They fell out of the race. Ty Showblock also did not have bad luck tonight. He only made 5 laps of this race. He fell out early. Most laps led Tanner Pettit, leading 20 of the 30 laps here tonight. Also with the fastest lap, hard charger was Blake Carrick as we set up 15 spots. Hoffman started on the pole after winning the dash, but just did not go his way here in the feature. Come home in second. I know, it's hard to say that not going your way and still come home in second because you want to win. It's sometimes the worst thing you can ever do is win races because anything else is not where you want to be, and you could be disappointed in second. But you kind of heard that a little bit in Kenny. He really wanted to win here tonight. He knew he was fast all night long, but still a good run, coming home with a little bit of damage. And it looks like we may have our point standings updated as well. And actually, look at that. Kenny Hoffman is going to take the top spot away here in the 410s from Aiden Forrester. 2 points out in front here in the points. Hoffman, Forrester, Putney. Tanner Pettit's going to move up to 4th. He's up 5 spots after his win tonight. Matthew Rogers, Jack Young, Trevor Royer, Dustin Sargent, and Michael Sheridan, and Andrew May. That's our top 10 here in the points standings. Dustin Simons in 11th. Szerzynski, Grandy, Griffey, and Robinson. That rounds out our top 15 here in the point standings as we complete race number 5 next week at Huset's. So if you like a little more racing action still going on the channel, I think we have the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series happening over live right now. Then we come back tomorrow night for the Half Decent Racing League. I should make a scheduled graphic here before we get going here, but Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series is tomorrow night. Saturday night we come back for the JWR Money Racing E-Racing League on Saturday. So for everybody here at DRSN, I want to say thank you for spending your time with us. I know you could have been doing something else. I'm sure there's some TV you want to watch on Netflix, but thank you for being here with us instead. I really appreciate it. And we're just going to go ahead and get out of here for the night, and we're going to see you again tomorrow night with the Half Decent Racing League. Thanks again. We'll see you then.